There is a category of motorcycle that suffers the most violent depreciation in the entire industry, and almost nobody understands why. Full-dress touring machines leave the dealership loaded with technology, comfort features, and engineering that costs manufacturers a genuine fortune to develop. And then, within just a few years, that same motorcycle loses more of its value than almost anything else on two wheels. Not because the engineering failed, because touring motorcycles attract an older, more financially conservative buyer. And that buyer base shrinks every single year as younger riders chase sport bikes and adventure machines instead. Right now, there are touring motorcycles sitting on dealer lots that sold for $17,000, $20,000, even more. Brand new, ignored, marked down, sitting next to naked bikes that cost a third of the price and offer a fraction of the engineering. Here's what nobody is telling you. These motorcycles aren't cheap because something broke. They're cheap because the touring category fell out of cultural relevance, while the actual machines underneath kept getting better every single generation. Today on BikeNexus, 3 touring motorcycles currently rotting on lots that cost $20,000 new. Exactly why they're cheap. Exactly what to look for, exactly what to avoid. Subscribe and stay until the last one because the gap between the original price and what it's selling for today is almost impossible to believe. Let's get into it. Motorcycle number 3. We are starting with a motorcycle that the sport touring community has called the benchmark of its category for over 2 decades, and that reputation has done almost nothing to protect its used market price. The Yamaha FJR1300, 2003 to 2017. A fully equipped FJR1300 left the dealership for between $16,000 and $17,500 brand new, depending on year and specification. Today you find clean examples on CycleTrader between $4,500 and $7,500. Someone absorbed over $10,000 in depreciation so you don't have to. And what they left behind is a 1,298 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine, shaft drive, and a chassis Yamaha refined continuously for 14 years on the same fundamental platform. Let me explain what makes this engine specifically remarkable. The inline-4 in the FJR1300 produces around 145 horsepower depending on year. But the number that actually matters for ownership is how that power gets delivered to the rear wheel. Shaft drive. No chain to adjust every few hundred miles, no chain to lubricate on the side of the road in the rain, no chain where accelerating because someone forgot maintenance for a season. The shaft drive on this platform requires a simple gear oil change at scheduled intervals and otherwise asks nothing of the owner for tens of thousands of miles. Long-distance touring riders have documented FJR 1300 examples passing 150,000 miles on original engine internals with nothing but scheduled maintenance. This is not an exceptional outlier. It is the expected outcome of an engine that Yamaha engineered specifically for sustained high-speed cruising, rather than aggressive sport riding, even though it has the performance credentials to do both. The reason this motorcycle sits on lots at $6,000 today comes down to one specific market shift. Sport touring as a category lost ground to adventure touring over the past decade. Buyers who would have purchased an FJR 15 years ago are now purchasing adventure bikes with off-road styling instead, even though the vast majority of their riding happens entirely on pavement. The FJR didn't get worse. The market's attention simply moved elsewhere. Here is the maintenance reality check before you buy. Check the final drive shaft housing for any seepage at the rear wheel. A small weep at the bevel gear cover means the seal needs replacement. $80 in parts and $200 off your offer. Verify the throttle body synchronization on higher mileage examples. A slight surge or hunting at steady throttle openings indicates the throttle bodies need balancing, a job that costs around $150 at most shops and is worth $200 off your offer, if needed. Inspect the electronically adjustable suspension on ES models for proper function through its full range. If the system doesn't cycle correctly through all settings, budget for diagnostic time and use it as significant leverage on the asking price. Find the right example, documented, inspected, shaft drive verified, and you have a sport touring benchmark with a 150,000-mile documented service life for $6,000. a machine that cost almost 3 times that brand new. But what I'm about to show you next was built by a manufacturer that decided full-dress touring meant something specific: total weather protection, total cargo capacity, and an engine designed to make highway miles disappear without effort. Motorcycle number 2. There is one number about this motorcycle's original price that is going to make the used price feel almost impossible. The Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager, 2009 to 2023. A fully equipped Vulcan 1700 Voyager left the dealership at $20,199 brand new, before destination charges. Today, you find clean examples between $2,999 and $6,499. Someone absorbed as much as $17,000 in depreciation, so you don't have to. And what they left behind is Kawasaki's flagship touring cruiser, a 1,700 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled V-twin engine wrapped in a complete touring specification that includes a frame-mounted fairing, locking hard saddlebags, a trunk large enough for 2 full-face helmets, and electronic cruise control. Let me explain what that original $20,000 price tag actually bought. The 1,700 cubic centimeters V-twin in this motorcycle was engineered specifically for relaxed, high-torque cruising rather than high RPM performance. It produces strong, usable power at low engine speeds, exactly the kind of delivery that makes highway cruising effortless, rather than demanding constant gear changes and throttle management. Kawasaki paired this engine with their advanced coactive braking technology on ABS-equipped models, an integrated braking system that links front and rear brake application for more predictable stopping power on a motorcycle that, fully loaded with rider, passenger, and gear, can weigh close to 900 pounds. The frame-mounted fairing is a detail worth understanding specifically. Unlike a fork-mounted windscreen that moves with the front wheel during steering input, a frame-mounted fairing stays stable relative to the rider regardless of steering angle, providing consistent wind and weather protection at any speed and through any maneuver. This is touring engineering that smaller, cheaper motorcycles simply cannot replicate. The reason this motorcycle costs $5,000 on a used lot today, after costing $20,000 new, comes down to one brutal market reality. Full-dress touring cruisers depreciate faster than almost any other motorcycle category because the buyer pool for these specific machines is small, aging, and shrinking. Younger riders aren't buying full touring cruisers. Older riders who do buy them tend to keep them for decades rather than trading frequently, which means used inventory builds up on lots with very limited fresh demand to absorb it. Here is the maintenance reality check before you buy. Verify the K-Act linked braking system functions correctly on ABS-equipped models. Apply the rear brake lightly while stationary and confirm both front and rear respond appropriately. Any inconsistency here needs professional diagnosis before purchase. This is not a system to gamble on. Check the audio and intercom system function on models equipped with it, since these electronic components can develop issues independent of the motorcycle's mechanical health. A non-functioning system is a $100 to $300 repair depending on the issue and should reduce your offer accordingly. Inspect the saddlebag and trunk latches for proper operation. These touring-specific components see constant use, and wear-related latch issues are common on higher mileage examples. A $50 to $100 fix per latch and worth negotiating into your offer. Find the right example, documented, inspected, electrical systems verified, and you have a $20,000 touring flagship for $5,000. 75% of the original price gone with none of the original engineering missing. But what I'm about to show you next takes full-dress touring even further. A machine built specifically to compete with the most expensive touring motorcycles on the market at a price point that undercut them dramatically when new, and undercuts them even more dramatically today. Motorcycle number 1. There is a motorcycle that Yamaha built with a single explicit goal: match the comfort and capability of touring motorcycles costing significantly more without compromising on a single feature that long-distance riders actually use. The Yamaha Star Venture, 2018 to 2022. A fully equipped Star Venture left the dealership for between $22,000 and $23,500 brand new. Today, you find clean, documented examples between $8,000 and $11,000. Someone absorbed over $12,000 in depreciation so you don't have to. And what they left behind is an 1,854 cubic centimeters V-twin engine, shaft drive, and a complete touring specification that Yamaha engineered to compete directly against the most established names in full-dress touring. Let me explain what makes this specific machine stand apart. The 1,854 cubic centimeters air-cooled V-twin in the Star Venture is one of the largest displacement engines available in any production touring motorcycle, engineered to deliver substantial low-end torque that makes two-up touring with a full load of luggage feel effortless rather than strained. The engine drives through a shaft final drive, eliminating chain maintenance entirely for the life of the motorcycle, requiring only periodic gear oil service at scheduled intervals. The touring specification on the Venture includes an electrically adjustable windscreen, heated grips and seats on most trims, a premium audio system, cruise control, and saddlebags with a combined capacity that rivals motorcycles costing several $1,000s more. Yamaha specifically engineered this motorcycle to answer a simple question. What does a rider actually need on a 1,000-mile day? And how do you deliver all of it without unnecessary complexity that creates failure points down the road? The reason this motorcycle sits on lots at $9,500 today, despite costing over $22,000 new, is the same structural reality affecting every touring motorcycle on this list. The buyer base for full-dress touring machines is small and specific. When that buyer eventually sells, often after years of light use and meticulous maintenance, since touring riders tend to be detail-oriented about their machines, the used market simply does not have enough fresh demand to maintain anything close to the original price. The motorcycle didn't get worse. The pool of people shopping for it got smaller. Here is the maintenance reality check before you buy. Check the final drive shaft and gear oil service history. This component requires attention at specific intervals, and a Star Venture with documented shaft service is a meaningfully different purchase than one without records. If service history is missing, budget for an inspection and use it as leverage. Verify all electronic comfort features function correctly. Heated grips, heated seats if equipped, the audio system, and the electric windscreen. These systems add genuine value when working and represent straightforward negotiating points when they aren't. Test every single one during your inspection. Inspect the trailer hitch receiver if equipped, since many Star Venture owners use these motorcycles for serious long-distance travel with trailers. Any wear or damage here tells you something about how hard the bike has actually worked. Find the right example, complete documentation, shaft drive verified, every electronic feature tested, and you have a $22,000 touring flagship for under $10,000. Less than half the original price for a motorcycle built specifically to match machines that still cost twice as much today. 3 motorcycles, 3 touring philosophies, all hit by the same brutal depreciation curve for the exact same reason. The Yamaha FJR1300 for the rider who wants sport touring performance with shaft drive simplicity and a 150,000-mile documented service. Life, for around $6,000. Available because sport touring lost cultural ground to adventure touring over the past decade. The Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager for the rider who wants Kawasaki's flagship touring cruiser, complete with frame-mounted fairing and integrated braking technology, for around $5,000. Available because the buyer pool for full-dress touring cruisers shrinks every year while the used inventory keeps growing. And the Yamaha Star Venture for the rider who wants the most complete touring specification on this list, built specifically to match motorcycles that still cost twice as much, for under $10,000. Available because touring riders keep their machines for decades, which means fresh used inventory consistently outpaces fresh demand. Every one of these motorcycles requires the same thing from you: complete service documentation, an independent inspection, and the discipline to walk away from any example that cannot provide both without hesitation. Find the right bike and you ride away on a touring flagship that costs $20,000 new for less than half that price. And you understand immediately why the people who bought these originally paid what they paid without hesitation. If this video changed how you see the used touring motorcycle market, hit that like button. It costs you nothing, and it tells YouTube to show this to every rider who is tired of overpaying for something ordinary. Subscribe to BikeNexus every week. We find the machines the market forgot and the prices that make them impossible to ignore. The best motorcycle you will ever own might already be sitting on a lot near you. Unloved, underpriced, waiting for someone smart enough to recognize exactly what it is. Buy smart, not by trend. See you next time.